Greetings from Shed Sound Studio here in rural West Virginia. My name is Ian Beabout, and today I thought I would do something a little bit different here on the Shed Sounds Media YouTube channel. And as you can hear, I am getting over some sort of sinusitis or whatever, so this will be sort of my first video back on the horse. I've taken a little bit of time off to let my voice rest, but in that time, I did get the chance to hear a number of surround sound records, and I thought it would be cool and something that I don't really see a lot of on the internet to do a series of surround sound reviews. So up first, I thought I would talk about Steven Wilson's brand new release, The Future Bites. Here it is on the surround sound Blu-ray copy. Now, I've been a follower of Steven's for a number of years. I want to say since about 2011, 2012. I jumped on board specifically with Grace for Drowning. So whenever that came out, I think that came out my freshman year of college, and I bought the I bought the vinyl LP before I even heard it on CD. So I remember very specifically Grace for Drowning being like my first real Steven Wilson experience. So ever since then, I think I've bought every one of his records on release day, and I've seen two of his tours. I saw The Raven That Refused to Sing back in 2013, and I also saw Hand Cannot Erase, which I think was 2015. Both great tours, great albums, but I can't say that I really revisit them that often. I honestly have had a declining interest in progressive rock music in general, not just limited to Steven's work, but I've kind of been losing interest in the genre in general. But the pandemic has inspired me to go back and rehear a lot of the work that he's done. So I feel like I can speak with some amount of authority when I talk about this new release. So I wasn't even intending on buying this based on the singles. I heard Personal Shopper. I did the remix contest, although I never finished my remix because I was too busy. I guess that happens. But I listened to this album on release day on streaming, and I was kind of driving home after dropping a friend off, and it was just kind of a lonely, cold night in 2021. And you could see the empty streets and lights coming off of businesses and reflecting in the water. And I put this album on, and it just seemed to like hand in hand with the atmosphere of the evening. This album seemed to be the right album for right now. And I noticed right away a certain coherency and, the way that the tracks blend one into the next works better when taken as a whole as opposed to the singles. And I think the singles were King Ghost, 12 Things I Forgot, and Personal Shopper. Oh, and Eminent Sleaze. I remember feeling like kind of, so-so on all those tracks when they came out, but hearing them in the context of the work, it really does work. And I feel like this album is an accomplishment simply because I believe this is the first album in which Steven Wilson sounds like Steven Wilson. You really can't listen to that and say, oh, well, he's obviously doing Rush, or he's obviously doing, an XTC pastiche, or oh, look, he kind of sounds like Genesis or King Crimson. This album, it feels uniquely Steven Wilson, and it seems like an album only he could make. And I love how this is, very limited in terms of the instrumentation on it. He's not using his band here. It seems like a lot of it are samples or electronic drums, either that he provided or his producer. And it gives the album a very personal sort of feeling. And I know that To the Bone was supposed to be that, but I feel like this even more so. It feels like an album that's very uniquely Wilson. I mean, some of it almost sounds like he made it in his home studio, which I'm sure that he did. But, somehow he was able to predict the right album for right now. Here we live in the post-Trump world, the post-COVID world, and there are songs here about sleazy business practitioners and the way that sleazy businessmen can run the world. There's songs here about e-commerce and shopping addiction and buying online, and buying online. So there's even a song here about a social media influencer or a YouTuber, which I believe what Follower may be about. But yeah, as a whole, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with this work. It's one of his sleekest. It's one of the most deeply enjoyable albums he's ever done. And here I've listened to it twice now on surround sound. So I would like to take a minute and comment on that. I feel like his albums are meant to be experienced this way. I mean, I really don't know of anybody else who's remixing albums or even just mixing albums for surround sound these days. Steven Wilson seems to continue to be the go-to guy for that. So again, you have an experience that's three-dimensional, and it does feel a lot less compressed than the stereo mix. Now, I am going off of streaming when I say that I listen to the stereo mix, so I really don't know what this would sound like on disc yet. I have to say that I do long for the days when you could pay $18 to $20 and get The Raven That Refused to Sing both in CD and 5.1 surround. I really wish that we could go back to that era instead of having to buy one or the other. But this isn't the time or place for that discussion. So in terms of the surround mix, I really do feel like it adds a whole nother layer to the listening experience. And this Blu-ray contains a couple of videos, all of which I think were released prior to the album coming out. But these are fun to watch because they include the surround mix with the videos themselves. So you can watch the incredibly trippy and psychedelic King Ghost video and be totally immersed in the sound. Or you can watch the Personal Shopper video, which, by the way, I think works better in the video edit. I hope that's not like sacrilegious or anything. I just think the shorter version works a lot better. And the video is kind of comical. It reminds me of, sort of mid-2000s Doctor Who. But that's neither here nor there. This is a great release, and I highly recommend that you check it out. If you have an interest in high-definition audio, as I do, or have an interest in Steven Wilson, I really think that you would be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't take a chance and listen to this. So, once again, my name's Ian Be About, and it's been a real pleasure talking with you today. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you want to see me review more surround sound discs, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. All right, that's all for me for today. Bye-bye.